message from Sunnahfollowers. This is from Sheikh Saleh. We need to unite. Sisters, wear your hijab, wear your beards, be proud of your beard. Stay home, stay in your home. Stand up, unite, and stand for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's right, Saleh. We all should stand up in solidarity, not transgressing the limits of Allah, but standing together with patience and understanding. This is Sunnahfollowers.
With dignity, humility, and balance.
If you want to learn about how to balance and maintain your faith every day, you need to be here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, being taught by Ustad Laila Nasheeba, streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers. Hope to see you there, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Yusuf and this is Ayub. And if you are benefiting like we are from the classes and the ongoing programming, tuning into the Sunnahfollowers, please donate. Let this be an ongoing Sadaqah Jariyah on your behalf. You're helping the kids, the converts, and everyone seeking knowledge. And it's a wealth of information every day you tune in. Don't forget, you are being rewarded for your generous donations to keep this programming on air. You know, just like what you're hearing, put your dollar where the dollar's at. Right here on Sunnahfollowers. Don't forget, donate. Right here to Sunnahfollowers and Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Listen, we are in dire need of donations to keep these shows running and available for you 24/7. So that means when you're in the car, it's available for you to listen to. Whether you're at work, streaming, playing a game, it's available for you to listen to. Rowing your deen and learning about the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful different topics of Islam. Listen, one of the heaviest deeds that could be placed on your scale on the Day of Judgment is Sadaqah Jariyah. Yes, I know, I'm trying to build deeds daily. So you can too. So listen, feel free, and please, from the bottom of your heart, donate to this wonderful cause, wonderful website and platform to continually push out shows that will benefit you and the Muslim Ummah. Yes, you can donate by going to the Sunnahfollowers.net website, pressing the Donate tab. You can also scan the QR code in YouTube on the far left top of our videos that are streaming. Listen, guys, this is very important, and take this as important. We want to keep this programming available for you 24/7 so that you have access in your car, anywhere you choose to tune in to this wonderful programming. Yes, guys, it's all at your disposal. So listen, feel free to donate. Once again, remember, Sadaqah Jariyah, one of the heaviest deeds on your scale on the Day of Judgment.
Okay. Ina alhamdulillah. Wassalat wassalam ala wa rasulallah. Hold on. I want to welcome everybody to our series on establishing the Muslim home. Excuse me. This is our series on establishing the Muslim home. And the last time that we met for this class, we talked about how the Muslim home is supposed to be a sanctuary for the inhabitants of the home. It's a sanctuary for the woman, for her children, and also for the husband. It's a place where the man can come home from work and relax and unwind and see and find encouragement and support. And it's a place where the woman can be free to be herself, to unwind and take off her hijab and be herself. It's a place where the children should feel safe and secure and loved. But unfortunately, it sounds like a fairy tale to many, because many of the Muslim homes are filled with violence. Many of the Muslim homes are filled with fear, and many of the Muslim women dread the arrival of their husbands home from work. And many men don't want to go home to their wives and their children. It's why, because we've deviated away from true Islam, even to the point where our homes do not represent what they're supposed to represent. And last time we met for this class, we talked about how since we have become a nation of people who have taken on the identity of the non-Muslims, we've also taken on their problems as well. We hear about physical abuse in the home amongst the Muslims too. We hear about sexual abuse. We hear about spiritual abuse even, and this is very common, especially if the adults in the home are people of the dawah. This is sad. Somebody asked me about spiritual abuse. Oh my God. I know a lot of people who are into the dawah scene like myself. And the women that I know who are like me into the dawah scene, they have a hard time being married, because every time they marry, the men try to break them. And I have experienced that too. The men try to break them of the dawah. They try to critique the women and put them down, and demean them, because they don't want them doing dawah. And the same happens to men too. A man comes home and instead of getting the support he needs, encouragement he needs from his wife is not practicing the religion like she should, and so, the people of the dawah have the same problems too. The children grow up confused, mixed up. The man might be too hard on them or too lenient. The wife might be too hard, too lenient. So it's a problem whether you're a person of the dawah or you're not. So we have to really look at our Muslim homes, guys, and try to incorporate, an atmosphere of peace and love within the house that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam encouraged us to have. And we spoke about how there are some signs that we can look for within the home that might be signs of some type of abuse. Who can tell me what are some signs of abuse that could possibly lead to abuse within the home, be it spiritual, sexual, or whatever? Anyone?
It can be trust issues or self-harm.
Trust issues? Did she say
yes?
Yes, you might come upon a child who just has a problem trusting you as a parent, as an adult. The child no longer wants to talk to you. The child used to be a child that would come to you and share their concerns and their fears with you. Now the child is withdrawn. She likes to stay in her room, stay to herself. Okay, what are some more signs of possible abuse within the home? Anyone? Good job, Aya. Go ahead.
To have AIDS, and then now they. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah,
sorry.
Go ahead.
She's talking. Oh, okay. I was just saying the kids academics. So basically, they used to always have AIDS, and their grades dropped.
That's a number one
teller. And stuff.
Exactly. Your child's grades drop. Oh, that's the number one sign. The kid was doing well academically in school, but now all of a sudden they've gone from A's to F's. Good job. Also, as Sister Aya said, changes of personality. The child is more reserved. The child is more inhibited. The child is more fearful of others. Good job. Not wanting to leave the room anymore. PTSD. Exactly. Certain sounds go off. The person jumps. That could be a sign of a woman being abused by her husband. When she hears a loud noise, she jumps. Yelling. Somebody yells or screams. She covers up her head. Okay. Also, being aware of the people around you. Always looking over your shoulder. Looking over your shoulder to see who's behind you. These are all signs that there may be some type of psychological, physical, spiritual, or even sexual abuse that's going on in the home. And in regards to sexual abuse, our prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave us some precautions that we should take to prevent this from happening. What are some of the precautions that Islam gives us that can prevent our children from becoming sexually molested? Can anyone give us some? All of you should know this.
Yeah, one of them is basically for the girl not to be alone with the boys. Like, say for instance, if change they rooms. Like, say for instance, if you only have one room, then the girl should have her own room. The boy should sleep on the couch or something like that. And if you have two daughters or something, then the girls need to have separate things, have their own cupboards, and have different things like that.
Exactly. Islam teaches us to separate the kids. At what age? In fact, there's a certain age that the prophet said separate them. What's
Seven.
Okay,
7.
really 6. 6. Separate your children at the age of 6. Don't have them sleeping in the same beds together. And if there are 2 girls, have them sleep under separate blankets. Don't have them sharing the same blanket and sheet. Give her her sheet and blanket and give her her sheet and blanket. So there is no cuddling. That cuddling leads to all kind of little stuff. Okay. So separate the children. Don't have the girls and boys together, and also separate the bed. Okay. So these are the precautions that Islam gives us, and we should do this when the kids are 6 years old. 6 years old, because 6 is the age of understanding. A child reaches the age of understanding at 6. The child reaches puberty at 10. So at 6 years old, you want to separate them, because that's when that inquisitiveness begins. So those are some of the things that we spoke about the last time we met for this class. And so now today, what I'm going to do, let me share my PowerPoint and flip my computer here so I can make it bigger. Today, we're going to speak about the importance of communication, having good, this Zoom is in the way. The importance of having good communication within the home, and the importance of building trust. Because if we communicate well and build trust, this can serve as a way of preventing these type of problems. So if abuse and oppression does exist in your home, this is going to compromise trust. It's going to compromise communication. Because how can you establish trust with someone that's hurting you? How can you believe in and trust to someone who doesn't have your interests at heart? And of course, you can't communicate with the person you trust. So we have to be vigilant in creating a safe environment within our homes. You know, like I said in the other class, today we're so focused on making money. The women are no longer in the home. The women are now out in the market working like men. We need to get back to staying in the home so we can make it a safe environment. But once abuse has occurred within the home, rebuilding trust and rebuilding communication is very hard to do, especially if the person that you're trying to build that trust with is the person that did the abuse. That's very, very, very difficult. If the abuse has endangered your mental, emotional, or physical or spiritual well-being, okay, or if the person has molested you sexually, it's crucial as a Muslim to put your safety and well-being above everything. And you have to remove yourself from that situation. And I want all children listening to me to understand that no one, not your mother, not your father, not your uncles, no one has the right to touch you in an inappropriate manner. And if someone is touching you in an inappropriate manner, you're gonna have to let someone know so they can stop it. You don't sit there and put up with it and tolerate it. And for the women here, if you're in a marriage and your husband is touching you in a harmful manner, you have to prioritize your safety. And remember, Islam teaches us that there's exceptions to everything, even when it comes to this. Remember, a woman cannot leave her home without her husband's permission. But there's an exception. The exception is if her husband is physically abusing her. If her husband is physically abusing her or her children, in that case, you need to get out of that house. You need to get to a safe environment. That's the exception. When he leaves to go to work or he leaves to go to the mosque, you pack up and get out of there and take your kids with you. Go to your mom, go to your father, go to a friend's house. That's the exception. And I want all you sisters to understand that. You don't have to sit there and put up with no man abusing you. We have an example with one of the female companions. Her name was Fatima. Fatima, the daughter of Qais. She experienced a difficult marital situation. In fact, it led to a divorce. Her husband used to abuse her physically, and it led to her divorce. After her divorce, she was faced with the problem, whereas her husband, she had no one to provide for her because he divorced her 3 times. Remember, after the second time, the marriage is over. The marriage is over instantly. So this man divorced her for the 3rd time, and she had nowhere to go. She had nowhere to live because she was a Muslim. And her family, other family members were not. Okay? Her husband did not accommodate her. So she went to the prophet and said, "Oh, prophet, what do I do? My husband has divorced me. I have nowhere to go." And the prophet told her to leave the house because the marriage is over. And he told her to go stay with Ibn Maktoum. For those of you who don't know, Ibn Maktoum was one of the companions who was blind. He could not see. And he had a house. And he had a house. So the prophet said, "Go live in Ibn Maktoum's home because he's a blind man. He can't see, he can't get around, and you don't have to worry about him jeopardizing your dignity." And so she went and stayed in Ibn Maktoum's home. And then she had, the next week, she got 3 marital proposals. Muawiyah proposed to her, also Abu Jaham, and also Usama, the son of Zayd. So she went to the prophet and said, "I got 3 marriage proposals. What do I do? Who should I marry?" He said, "Muawiyah ain't got no money. He depends on his father's money." You know, that was the son of Abu Sufyan. He said, "You don't want his father taking care of you." He said, Abu Jaham, he beats his wives up. If you marry him, you'll be in the same situation you was in before because he's known for beating up his wives. He said, "I suggest you marry Usama, the son of Zayd." And you guys know Usama was the son of Zayd. Zayd was an ex-slave. And his mother was Baraka, who was the ex-slave woman who raised the prophet. So she threw her hand up like, "I don't want to marry nobody who's the son of an ex-slave." But the prophet said, "Put your hand down." He said, "And you need to listen and take my advice." So she said, "I marry Usama." So she married him, and she lived a happy life after that. Okay, but the moral here is, again, her husband abused her. She had nowhere to go. He refused to take care of her. The prophet said, "Get out of that situation. Get out of that house." You don't sit there and stay with him. You don't sit there and stay with somebody that's abusive. Leave and go somewhere else. So that shows us in Islam, it's all about your safety. You know, there's exceptions to every rule. And in this case, this was a blind man that couldn't even see her anyway. He couldn't harm her because he couldn't see. So go move in and stay in his house until something better comes. So that shows if you sisters are in an abusive relationship, that's the one time you don't need his permission. You get up and get out of that house and find safety for yourself. Okay? And another thing too, and I spoke about this in my Q&A. Sometimes we'll get women who come to us and say, "Dear Sister Laila, I am 18 years old. My father has sexually molested me for the past 6 years. Can I leave?" Yes, you're an adult now. You can leave. Do I have to ever deal with my father again? No, because he violated the amana, the trust between him and Allah. By him sexually molesting you, he violated the trust of being a father. He lost that. He lost the trust. He lost the love. So no, you don't have to have anything to do with him anymore. Remember, we talked about how Islam teaches us that 3 things are sacred for every Muslim: my life, my honor, and my property. You took my honor. You took my property. You endangered my life. So guess what? Qisas, I'm off of you. I don't want nothing to do with you. You're not my father anymore. A woman has the right to say that. You are no longer my father. You are no longer my brother. You violate the trust that Allah put you over me with. So you're no longer my brother. I have nothing to do with you. You're no longer my uncle. You're no longer my father. I have nothing to do with you. So I want you women to remember that if it's a close relative who's violating your honor through molestation or whatever, you know, you don't have to deal with that person anymore, because that's a trust that they violated between themselves and Allah. And again, Islam is all about justice. Allah loves justice. Allah is not going to put you in a situation that can destroy you. Even Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, do not throw yourselves into destruction. Allah is not going to let you sit there and live a life of destruction because you're in an unhappy marriage or unhappy relationship. Okay? The human life is important in Islam. Our honor is important and our property is important. So I don't want anyone listening to me to think that they have to stay in an abusive relationship, be it with a close relative or a husband or anyone else. Listen to what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. He said there should be neither harming nor reciprocating harm in Islam. That means we don't go around hurting people intentionally, and nor should you be vindictive to want to pay me back by hurting me, hurting me intentionally. This is not Islam. Allah is just. He loves justice. Allah hates oppression. Oppression will be a darkness on the day of judgment. So you don't say, well, because my father is sexually molesting me, I'm going to sexually molest my sister, or I'm going to sexually molest or abuse my brother. We don't do that. This is evil. This is shaitan. Okay? So, there's another hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the Muslim is the one from who others is protected from his tongue and his hands. As Muslims, we're supposed to live and others around others who can trust us. others who we know we don't have to worry about them harming us. And based on this hadith, this is where the dalil comes, whereas if your father, your brother, or a person close to you violated your life, your honor, your property, you can cut them off then. You don't have to have no more dealing with them because you're no longer safe. How are you going to feel safe around such a person? Okay, Islam teaches us, again, to be kind, to be just, to be kind. We're supposed to live amongst each others on earth as brothers and sisters, wanting the best for one another, protecting the honor of each other. We're not supposed to be backstabbers. We're not supposed to be oppressors. So I want everyone listening to me to understand that. If you are in an abusive relationship, get out of it. Nowhere does Allah say you have to stay in it. Like the Prophet told Fatima bint Qais, don't go back there. And I'm telling you guys, get out of there. If it's a child and your parents have hurt you, talk to your grandparents. Go to your grandparents and say, my Ummi, my Abu are being inappropriate with me. Go to your aunts, go to your uncle and tell them my mother, my father is being inappropriate to me. You don't sit there and take it. All right, so I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Any questions or comments? It's a topic that we don't like to talk about, but it has to be talked about because it's happening. Sexual abuse is happening in the Muslim homes. A lot of girls are being molested by their brothers and their fathers and their uncles. A lot of boys are being molested by their brothers, by their fathers, by their uncles. It's no discrimination now. All right. Any questions or comments? Okay, here's a sister here from Twitch. She said, Jazakallah khairan for this class. This hit close as I sadly experienced this when I was young, and I'm now in my late 20s, and I'm still trying to heal from it, especially from an uncle. And this class is very beneficial. Yeah, sister, this happens a lot. I mean, 1 out of every 5 households. The last time I looked at the statistics, 1 out of every 5 households is experiencing some type of molestation. That's how high it is. But I want you to understand, Sister Khadijah, it happened. You survived it. You are a survivor. You're still a good person. You did nothing wrong. The sin is on him, not you. He's going to answer to Allah, and he's going to wreak hell in this world for that too. Whenever we violate the amanah or the trust with Allah, Allah is not only going to punish you in the hereafter, he's going to make your life a living nightmare in this world too. And for anyone who's had to deal with that type of situation, look at the good. The good is you survived, and it made you a stronger person. It made you a better person, so that when you marry and have children, you'll be more protective of your kids. You will know the signs to look for, and you'll be able to guide and protect your kids from that. But don't ever feel like it's your fault, and don't ever feel that you are anything less than what you are, because you're strong. You're a survivor. That makes you better than a lot of people, because a lot of people wouldn't have been able to survive that mental abuse and that physical abuse that you went through. So all this did is help shape you into the strong, believing Muslim woman that you are. And there are many female companions, many female companions who had to deal with sexual abuse in their life and sexual physical abuse. And they're the best of this nation. So I don't want any of you women or boys to think that you're less than anyone else. You're stronger than most. All right? Don't ever feel bad. All right. Any other questions or comments? Yes, tomorrow is what, Monday? Yeah, you have my class at 6:30. My 6:30 class is tomorrow, and my 9:30 is Riyadh Salihin. Yes. You know, brother Bilal, yeah, you one of the ones that asked me for that class. Yes, the Riyadh Salihin is on Mondays and Wednesdays. And we'll be continuing with the third chapter in the book of miscellaneous topics tomorrow. I'll give you a quiz first. Yeah, so make sure you read up. Yeah, the chapter on patience. We'll continue speaking about the virtues of patience. All right. Okay, I want to thank everybody for joining and participating. Inshallah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum, everybody.